Hey guys, welcome back. So we changed our mind on something to make because I have some cutters that I want to test. I can show you those first, but I've got these little squiggles and they look fun. And I didn't think a kaleidoscope would really look good cutting into them. A silk screen might work. I don't have a whole lot of those, but I thought, how about a Makume Gane cane? I think that would look really good with this. So I wanted to go metal. I wanted to make it shiny and be kind of neutral in color. So what I pulled out was, this is all cut at the thickest setting on my machine. I have silver, I have copper, I have gold, I have antique gold, I have bronze. You also have rose gold, you have antique gold, and I didn't really care for it. I'm sorry, this isn't antique gold, this is 18 karat gold. Those colors I just don't like. So we thought we would start with some of this. So I'm going to do some bronze. I'm going to do a gold. I'm going to do a silver. I'm going to do a copper. An 18 karat gold. And then I have some Graphite Pearl, and this was rolled at a number 2. I didn't want to go real thin, but I didn't want to go really thick on that. I'm hoping those will make some just nice lines in between it. And all I'm going to do is sandwich all of them together. And I'm going to try and not destroy the square. For some reason, whenever I make Makume Gane cane, I always seem to just mess up the shape. So I'm going to try not to do that. Okay, so we're going to take that and then we're going to cut this in half. And I did have a cutter, which has disappeared, of course, because I'm making a video. So let me grab another one. Hopefully this is sharp enough. And we're just going to cut it in half. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so that's what we got. We're just going to put that right on top. And we're going to continue doing what we did. See what I mean about how I destroy the shape? I've seen people do these and the shapes always end up perfect, so I don't know why mine gets so disformed. Maybe I'm just pressing too hard. So we're going to turn that around just to make sure these kind of stretch out as well. Okay, I'm going to cut in half again. Put it right back on top. Okay, there's still a little bit of air bubbles in there. So we'll probably do this about 2 more times. We want it to get really thin, but not too thin that it starts to blend into each other. That's when you just start getting too much problems and you won't see all the highlights in the color. Okay, so yes, we're going to try and fix it up now. Pretty fast way of making a design. It's pretty easy to do. And you can get some cool shapes depending on how you cut it. Yeah, I'm a little off because that side's off. Okay, so I think that's good enough on our cuts. I don't know if you can see how thin that is. So now all we're going to do is stretch this out. And then we'll start putting a little bit of cuts on the inside. Okay. I mean, the goal is to make sure that you're not getting all of this, but it doesn't seem to work with me. So I'm going to take just some round cutters here. I'm going to go all the way down. And then I'll put some in the middle here. Okay, and then we'll take some wavy lines, and for that I'm just going to use, I don't know, just an old credit card. Just push those down here. Now we have some areas that are big and small. And let's put one right there. And we'll put some across there. You can even take some dots if you really wanted to. We're going to go big on the dots. If I have big ones. Okay, so we're going to use this green one. And we're just going to kind of smear it in like that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to squish this all back up. You'll kind of see what's going on when you look on the sides. Okay, so now we're just going to cut off the top layer. I just want to see if I have enough of a design going on inside. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so we're going to take off probably the two bottoms, since I know those don't look really great when they get to the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to roll these on my pasta cutter, see what color we get out of them, and then we'll go ahead and make the base. Kind of like an antique color, so I'm not really happy with that. So I'm going to put that aside. And let's go ahead and get some bronze. I do like bronze. And we're going to go ahead and make a really small sheet to lay all this on. And on this sheet, I'm going to cut it at a number 5 on my machine. Okay, so we're not going to do a whole lot of it. And it's not even, and that's okay. Just cut a couple of these strips off. Okay, and I love this, so I'm going to use it. Again, we're just going to slice it. For me, it's easier to slice it like this than straight up and down. Or straight up and down instead of the other way. I have a really hard time doing it the other way. So we're just going to lay that here. And you want to cut it thin, but not too thin. Because if you sand it, you're going to end up sanding all of the design off it. And then you'll just end up with that base coming right through the top. So I don't go too thin. Okay, so now we're just going to fill in those two spots right there. So we're going to do that. I'm going to get rid of this edge because it's got a lot of that black on it. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit more just to make it a little thicker. Okay, so that's all we need for that. Grab some paper. Just some printer paper here. And we're just going to blend it all in. I can tell there's some areas that are a little thicker than others. So we're going to grab a rubber stamp. Seems to work a little better than my fingers do. And all I'm doing is I'm playing with my fingers right here. It's just checking to feel if I have any high spots, low spots, or separation of the pieces, and you will be able to feel them. So like I got a little bit over here, and this is a little higher. So you could feel those areas right here. So I'm just going to push those down with my finger. When you use all the metallic clay, this is all Sculpey Premo as well, but boy, it just gives you a beautiful shine. There's some pieces that I don't resin. Other pieces I feel have to be resin to show the beauty, and this is one of them. All the metallic colors, I love to put resin on top. Yeah, I just got this area right here that does not want to lay down. So I might have to use my fingers a little bit. There we go. Just a couple spots right there. Got a couple areas that are a little low. So if that happens, you can just grab a thin piece like that. Although I really like that design on there, right there. I think that's the only place I needed to fix. could put it through your pasta machine, but what it'll end up doing is it'll take the design and it'll stretch it, and so you won't get that really cool small areas like I've got. Okay, so now I'm just going to cut a piece to see how thin we are. That's a little thin. I like them thin for earrings, but I don't want it horribly thin. So what I may do is add one more sheet of bronze to the back. So let me go ahead and condition a little bit more bronze. Okay, so there is another sheet of bronze, but it's at a number 5. And I'm just going to take a little cloth here, just an old dish rag. You can get these at Walmart for like a pack of 12 for 4 something. So I buy a whole pack of 12 and I leave them in here, and they're great for texture on the back. But you can use anything you want to texture the back. You could even use like a design. So if I wanted to, I could put a nice little flower design back here, but I'm just going to do this. Oh, that was dumb. So now we're just going to put that over that. Oop. Okay. So I'm just going to really lightly roll it on there just to make sure we got it all. And I'm going to cut off a little bit of this extra. This is probably my favorite metallic color, is the bronze. Got a little spot right here that came apart. I don't like that. So let me go ahead and put some bronze to the machine. And we're just going to make a thin piece. This is 7 on the machine. Cover this area right here and right there. I want to make sure that it's all the same size all the way across. Okay, now we're going to see how this works. If I don't like it, then there's something under my table here and it keeps bouncing all over the place. Sorry about that. This isn't leaving an impression like normal. So, I'm going to grab something else. I have some really pretty flowers. So we're going to go ahead and use that. The rags do work though. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time today. This will work just as well. Okay, nice pretty floral background. Now, I have these squiggles. That just seems like such a long pair of earrings. So I'm going to do, I think these are 2 inches. I have a 2 and a 225. It's a 275. Okay, so these are mirrored images, which my cutters that don't have a design that's the same on both sides, I will make mirrored cutters for them. But how big do people wear their earrings? The ones that I was selling, maybe at best were 2 inches long. But that was with everything. So I don't want to make them huge. So let me go. Oh, I have all the cutters in front of me, and of course I can't find its match. So that's a 175, and that's a 2. So let me hit pause, find the other 2 of these. Okay, so those 2 are the ones that I had to make extra because I didn't make a mirrored copy of both of them. So now the fun part begins. Okay, so we're going to cut down. Uh-oh. That's never good. I'm going to deform them. It's actually this one that I need. Yeah. I don't know why they're sticking in there. As you can see, you got a clean cut. Okay, so now we're going to do the 2-inch. I think it's sticking to my surface, which on a glass tile normally doesn't do that. So I don't know why it's giving me a hard time today, but we're going to add a little bit of cornstarch. Okay, so those were the 175. And these are the number 2 cutters. These are 2 inches. I kind of like that design right there. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, I think. It's because I'm moving it. So this time I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to move it. I'm just going to press straight down and pull it straight up. Yeah, that's where the problem was. Okay, so I've got a little bit of extra room here. And I've got this trusty old dagger here. Daggers are great for Southwestern themed stuff. So we're going to... Wow, yeah, it's just sticking today. That doesn't normally happen. I don't like that. Straight up and down. The earrings are a little thicker than I wanted. Probably didn't need to put that backing on it, but then it would have been too thin, and I didn't want to cut them out again. So let's see what else we can put in here. I don't think those would look really good like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this guy out. And the one thing about putting a design on the bottom is I can lay them on a tile And for some reason, that design seems to keep it from getting shiny. Like when you lay your pieces on a flat tile, you'll get that shiny piece on the bottom. It doesn't usually happen when I do it with a design on the back. Okay, so when you have all this left over, it is not trash. All you have to do is just kind of, I'll break it apart a little here and there. And then I'll just kind of move them over. Same with that. So you can constantly do this over and over and over again until you have nothing left. That's the one thing about this kind of a cane, is you don't have a design that you're following. It's just whatever it is. So it makes it a little easier. Okay. So now we might be able to get the thinness that I wanted. Okay. Take your blade and just push. Got a couple areas right there. Excuse me. And then with everything, you're going to sand them anyways, so don't worry about fingerprints. Okay, so we're just going to kind of stretch that out. Funny thing is, I can feel how much higher this goes out. So we're just going to stretch that out a little more. Okay, and if you want to see what it looks like going through the pasta machine, I guess we can do it. I don't think it'll ruin it. So I'm going to go at a number 1. And then I'm going to go at a number 2. And it's a little thinner than a number 2, but I don't want to go to a 3 because to me a 3 is just too thin for, it's just too thin for me. So let's find another shape and then we'll bake them and I'll come right back. Alright, so I found one more of my shapes that I really, really like. And the cool thing about these, I'll show you when I'm done cutting this. So when you have the inside, you really want to push in on that inside as well, because that's just another cutter edge. I don't know if I'm going to have enough to make 2. We're going to try. I think we can. I think we can. So I'm going to turn this over like that. This right here. That right there. And the one thing I like about this design in general is these are going to be earrings. But you can take the centerpiece part of me doesn't want to take it out till after it's baked. But you can take that centerpiece right here and stick it up here on top. And you can put your holes right here. And so you'll have this little dangle and this big earring. And I'm not going to take it out because I don't want to distort it. So I'm going to leave those in there. Well, that one came out anyways. So I'll explain that one to you. Okay, and look at the sides. They're all nice. So you can put that like that, hang it. You don't have to. Even a little round shape would look good. So I'll probably do 2 of those, just in case. Okay, so I've got those. I'll just bake it inside like that. And I think this is the perfect opportunity to make 2 little circles. I think that's going to be perfect. So I'm going to make 2 of those right here. And for the last thing that I'm going to do, so I made a new resolution. It's going to be a New Year's resolution early. And that is, whenever I make a cane or do a demo like this where I'm also doing my shapes, I am going to bake them, I am going to sand them, and I am going to assemble them all at the same time. Because my problem is, and I'm sure it's a lot of people's problem, is we make a lot of cane. And then we make the cane and we don't do anything with them. And then when we finally do something and cut out shapes, they go in another box. You know, and then you sand them and then you put them in a box. And then you finish them and they go in another box. You put resin on them and they go in another box. And then you finally assemble them before you have a show. So this show taught me not to do that. I want to just complete everything as I go. Put them on earring cards, pendant cards, string them up however I'm going to use it. And then when a show comes, I don't have to worry about it. I've got all my inventory. They are going to be already priced. And I don't have to worry about doing it later. Because that is my biggest issue. And the worst problem I have is just not being able to complete everything at once. And then I let it go. And then it's just hell to try and get done. So, could make this a pendant. That doesn't seem very interesting though. I don't know, a heart in those colors. I could try it. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. And since it's going to be a pendant, I can go ahead and cut it in half. And nope, it's not going to be a perfect shape in half. Let's see, which one do I like the best? I like this one. So I'm going to put that right there underneath. And this one we are going to put through the machine. And that again is at a number 2. That to me is way too thin for a pendant. So what we're going to do is that. Might get some bronze out of this. And I will. So we're going to take this down to a number 3. Okay. Yes, I know in my videos I move around so much. It's the ADD in me. And I absolutely hate it. But it is what it is. My mind just seems to constantly find something else. Sometimes it can be really aggravating, and sometimes it's a good thing because that's where my ideas come from. Alright, so we're just going to do this. A little bit more, get rid of some of that discoloration in there. As long as I have one side that looks good, I am happy with that. So this I'm going to make a little deeper. I'm going to put Put that on top. I'm not going to really worry about that. I'm just going to kind of make sure that it's straight on there. That's it. And it should give me a little thicker than what I had before, and I wanted it just a little bit thicker on the pendant. Yep, see, that's much better for me. So I did not combine those two layers as well as I should have. So we're just going to rub it with my hand a little bit. Okay, so that little slab that we did, 2 pieces at best, I've still got all of that to go. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pair of earrings and a pendant. So that's it for today. Let me show that to you really quick. And the cool thing is, I could probably show you with water. I have some water over here. I do. So you can see what it looks like now. But when you put the resin on top, yeah, you won't see it. I'll show it to you after I'm done, but it's going to just really, really shine. So I'm going to throw these in the oven, bake it, and I'll come back, and they will be sanded, because I told you I'm going to get this done. And then I'll show you what it looks like after the resin goes on it. You guys have a great day. We'll see you soon. Bye. Hi guys. So we're back, and I pulled everything. Is already sanded. I've got resin on everything. And I did a couple, or I didn't do a couple with resin because I wanted to show you the big difference. So I don't have time to buff, and I do buff a lot of my pieces. But when I really want it to shine, yes, I put resin on it. So this is the difference between the two. Okay, so this is just dull. And you really cannot see all that metallic clay in there. But as soon as you put resin on it, I mean, you can really see. Oh, I'm having a hard time focusing here. You can really see the difference in the resin. Okay, and I think I have one more. I have this one. Oh, and there's the other one. Okay, and then look at that. Just looking at these side by side. See how it just brings out the color and all the mica powder that's in that. So that's why I use your resin, my metallic glass. So really quick, so I've got this 2-inch earring here. And I'm trying to think of which side to use to put the earring hoop on. You know, so that's the other part, is figuring out what side you want it on. I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to show you real quick what I use. I'm going to turn on the drill, so it's going to be a little loud. And this is just a Dremel drill. On this, my hand's probably going to shake. I'm just going to put a hole right there. And I'm thinking I don't need a guide. I hope I don't. I'm not wearing glasses, so I hope I can actually see what I'm doing. So let's see how even we are here. If not, it would be typical. Oh, of course I put the hole in the wrong one. That's okay. I have 2 of them. Let me grab that drill again. I was wondering why it felt a little smaller too. That's this side. And if you want, you can line them up like this together. Put them side by side behind each other. Make sure they're even. And I don't know why it's not going in. Okay, and this will give you at least where you want to put your hole. I don't have resin on the back, so it's best to go through the front. Or you can pop that resin right off. So we're just going to go until we feel it's at the end. And then we're just going to come through the front to finish it off. Okay, and this is how easy they are. So I've got these little earring things. And they're just a little bail. I don't know if I'll use silver. I mean, the silver looks okay. I think stainless steel would probably look better, not the bright silver. I tried these with gold. The gold just stood out too much. I tried copper. Copper wasn't too bad. But since this has got some silver in there too, I might just come back with some stainless steel. If these are a little too bright. But there you go. So that was pretty quick and easy. And now you got a pair of pretty cool squiggly earrings. So I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to go ahead and finish resining each of those pieces. Put the rest of these together. And look at that. I got some earrings and I actually made and assembled tonight. So I'm pretty proud of that. So I will talk to you next week or maybe midweek if it goes slow this week. So we'll talk to you later. Bye.